back, my YouTube family. I am so excited about this episode. If you are enjoying some of the unique coaching method stuff we're talking about, I really think you're gonna love this because this takes it to the next level. Honestly, this is the next step that I'm gonna dive into in this video, and it's really the most fun part. And it's why I'm wearing my Harry Potter shirt that I got at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Florida, as well as my owl earrings that my best friend gave me, not realizing that it signified way more than just pretty owl earrings, but Harry Potter. We will get into that in a little bit. But I'm really excited to share a little bit about what I call your signature standout. All right, your signature standout is like it sounds. What are some things that you can use in your content and in your branding that stand you out from other people? And these can be things that have to do with who you are as a person and what you like doing. So one of the first exercises that I have clients go through, and I did this in a challenge I did very recently, and it was very, very successful. So many people had so many ideas for content and really good posts at the end of this. So I hope you do too. But one of the things I have them do is write a doing and a being list. And I will make sure magically in YouTube land and editing, thank you amazing editors, that over this screen right now is a video or a little clip of the slideshow that I usually present this on, which says the doing the being list. So you can take a screenshot, and I want you to actually either pause this video and go do this exercise, or you can do it afterwards. But make sure you do this because just this exercise alone is going to help you create so many content ideas. So what are these two lists? That's what we'll get into next. So like it says here, the being list are things that have to do with your personality as a whole, right? If you were to ask someone, how would you describe me in 3 words? What would they say? And I recommend you actually go do this. Go ask people. My brand, the Pretty Awkward brand, which has really blown up as far as being recognizable. When people think of me, they think of that. When they hear that word, they think of me, hopefully in a good light. We have tried to really dive into that, and I'll have a whole video on the development of that brand and why it really took off. It wasn't by accident. It was very intentional, and we did research. I didn't just throw it out there one day. Not that that's wrong, but we were really intentional behind it. And part of it was actually doing a branding survey. And part of that was asking people, when you think of Megan, what are 3 words that come to mind? What do you consider her as far as her job title, right? And what are some things about her that you think stand out from other people? And questions like that. So I really recommend you go do this. Ask friends, ask family members, ask clients, ask past clients, ask just, business friends, whoever it is. Different people from all walks of your life though, not just a business angle, and see what they say. 1, it'll make you feel really good probably, but 2, it'll give you some insight into how you're being perceived, and maybe you're not being perceived the way you want to. Maybe you feel like you're not really sharing your true self, which I find a lot of entrepreneurs are not doing. This will be really enlightening because if someone is saying like, you are so quirky and sarcastic and have this dry, sassy humor, but you're presenting this like sweet, lovable girl next door, innocent vibe online, there's an off, right? There's something off, and people can feel that, right? They can feel when there's a difference between who you are online and in person. Now, really quick caveat, that does not mean that you have to bear it all and tell everyone all the things all the time. You do not have to do that, especially for personal branding. And being a personal brand, you can share as much or as little as you want about your personal life. I still keep a lot of my personal life personal that none of my followers or audience know. And then some things I feel called to share. And it's really just a case-by-case basis. Everyone is different with how much they want to share. There's no rule with how much you have to. So have fun with that exercise. Now, the doing list that you will see on the other side, again, take a screenshot of that, is what do you like doing? What are some of your hobbies? What are some TV shows you love? What are some books you love to read? Movies? What do you do on vacation? What kinds of vacations do you like? When you're not working, who are you? What do you do? And even go back to when you were maybe in your teens, if you're kind of like, all I do is work, or all I do is parent, or whatever it is, right? A lot of times our life or our title in life, one of our titles can really take over. So have a little bit of fun here and kind of dig deep. And remember, there's nothing off limits. 2 of my main signature standouts, as silly as this sounds, are Harry Potter, which is why I wore my Harry Potter shirt for this video, and Schitt's Creek, the TV show. They're like my favorite things, and I am known for those, like connecting those. People know I love that. And I create content, we're gonna get there at the end of this video. I create content that really resonates with people who also like those things, and they remember it and it stands out, and they sign up for programs. It just happened over and over and over again. So go do this homework, and I'm excited to hear you report back. I'd love to hear in the comments after you do this homework how this was for you and what are some of the doing things and the being things you came up with. All right, this is a picture of the beautiful Isabella Sanchez at the Isabella Sanchez on Instagram. Go find her, one of my former clients and incredible friends, who's also a diehard Harry Potter fan, actually even more than me, if you can believe that. And when she was deciding who to invest in as a coach, she told me verbatim that one of the main reasons was we connected on Harry Potter so much, and she loved that. And she felt like not only could I help her with my business, just like a lot of the other business coaches out there, but we connected on that level, which meant so much to me. That's why the stuff I'm talking to you about today is not fluff, my friend. It is real. It not only results in you helping so many people, but also helping people that you connect with in more than just the way in which you help them. As a human, I connected with her as a human. And because of that, she not only became a client in my group program, she moved on to become a client in my mastermind and then my high level mastermind. We worked together for a year and a half from a Harry Potter connection. The next thing I want you to consider with your signature standout is how do you want to make people feel when they're in your container, your coaching container? That word's so funny, container. I wonder who came up with the coaching container. Anyway, distraction. But I want you to think about how do you want people to feel when they're at the grocery store and they see something that reminds them of you because you have developed your signature standout. You have a few specific things that people associate you with. What do you want them to think? How do you want them to feel? What sensations do you want them to feel, right? And I'm sure you can even think of this with some of your own friends, family, people that you've been around or that you've consumed their content. When you think of them, when you're out, you probably feel a certain way, whether it's good or bad, right? You feel a certain way. So how do you want these people to feel when they are thinking of you and their time in your coaching container? This is so important, because this is why people will re-sign and refer you. Again, this is so important because people will re-sign and refer you because of how you make them feel. It's a very famous Maya Angelou quote. I'll make sure we throw it up here because I'm not gonna say the whole quote, but it's like people don't remember what you did or what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. And it's so true. I've always loved that quote, and I just think it so rings true, even more so now. So this is important. You want to communicate that effectively with your audience when you're especially talking about your programs, when you're in sales or launch mode. How are people going to feel in the container? How are they going to be supported? How is it going to be different than other coaching containers that you've seen? Of course, you have to speak to the deepest desires that they want and why they're joining a program, the transformation they want. But part of that transformation is how they're going to be supported and how they'll feel inside. A lot of times people are hesitant to join programs because of past experiences. And if you want to help them really overcome that block, you've got to communicate and back it up with like testimonials and evidence to support that you are going to help them feel a certain way. So that's another thing to consider when laying out your signature standout. Another thing to think about when it comes to your signature standout is what could you talk about all day? If you are going to start being known or associated with certain things as far as your branding goes, you want to like talking about it, right? It's kind of when someone becomes an affiliate for something or is in network marketing, if they got started really because they love the program or product, whatever it is, you have to love talking about it. Don't just pick something to pick it because it's popular, because you will get really bored talking about that real fast. So make sure it's something that you absolutely love. Think of even your routines. What are some things that you naturally do and you might take for granted and think other people do? Maybe they do, and that will be something you can connect on them with. Again, the signature standout is a way for you to stand out from other people in your industry, and it's also going to depict your unique coaching method. It's going to help you stand out from the crowd so that when people are scouring Instagram or hopping through Clubhouse or whatever it is, when you're talking about something specific, they're going to resonate with that and be like, oh, I love that thing too. I'm so interested in that as well. You're not just informing this way, you're actually entertaining people. And I don't know if it's the performer in me or what it is, but I know I like to be entertained as well. I don't want to just be spoken to. I want to be entertained. So this is a way for you to be entertained by relating something you have in common with your audience. Again, especially if you are a personal brand. Really, this is mainly for personal brands that I'm speaking to. So have fun with that part of the exercise.
favorite business coach here. Today's tip of the day is to forget about that silly word niche or niche, however you say it. We want you to be super broad in your messaging so that you blend in with the crowd.
So the two posts that I just showed you that are on the screen right now are examples of me taking something that I share in common with my audience, right? A lot of my audience loves Schitt's Creek. A lot of my audience loves Harry Potter, and taking that and actually using that as a metaphor for business. Again, I could have easily just said, hey, you really need to stick at it and keep going with your business and trust in the process. Or I could have compared it to Harry Potter's relationship with Dumbledore and with Snape. And that was way more entertaining. I could have given a lesson on what not to do in your business just normally, or I could have done it as Alexis from Schitt's Creek. These two things got so much more traction than they would have, these two posts, than they would have if I just said it like that, like everyone else is saying it, right? So I want you to start to think outside the box. How can you infuse things that you love in your everyday, that your audience loves too, into your content to capture their attention? This is so much fun. It makes your content so much better, and you just enjoy it so much more.
All right, we've reached the end of the video. I know I shared a few metaphor posts with you and gave you some examples. I'm gonna make sure we link all of those posts as well in the description below so you can go analyze that a little bit more. But again, this isn't fluff. Not only were these posts something that really got a lot of engagement, a lot of clicks to website, but converted into clients because I was able to stand out with my content. I didn't just tell someone that, business has its ups and downs. I compared that to Harry Potter and his relationship with Dumbledore and Snape. So there's, so I could have easily said it just the normal way, but it was way more compelling the other way. Even if someone's not a Harry Potter fan, even if they don't really know a lot, have not read the books, have not watched the movies, they're still going to stop in their tracks. They're still going to be like, what is this? And be interested. And so that's what you got to try to do, especially now. There's so many people out there in business and it seems saturated, right? It's so easy to think that your industry is saturated, but I promise you, you are unique, you are different. And over and over and over again, when I work with clients, when we find what their signature standout is and how this relates to their unique method, and when we can communicate that in a way that's marketable, that people are like, I want to buy this, they not only work with awesome clients that they love, but competition goes out the window because they don't compare themselves. So again, this work will really, really just help you feel so confident in what you do and how you do it differently. And it will help you stand out without feeling like you have to stand out. You just naturally will by being yourself. And this is such a freeing feeling, and that's why I'm so freaking passionate about it. So I hope you enjoy this video. Again, we will dive more into writing a metaphor post and how to relate whatever you do, whatever your transformation is that you help people achieve, with those doing and being list things. So make sure you do that exercise and bring it to the next video where I will be breaking down some posts for you and analyzing and giving you a step-by-step way to actually write your own metaphor post that really stands out, captures people's attention, makes them go, wow, this is different. This is like, I got it. I finally understood it. And that's the power of metaphor, is people start to understand concepts and things that you are trying to explain to them in a way more powerful way. They finally get it. It clicks when you can relate it to something that they understand. So again, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the description. We have a bunch of goodies down there. Depending on when this comes out, our quiz might be available for you to determine what type of coach approach you take. And then a lot of really great information on how to use that now that you know that and have that knowledge. What do you do from there to really determine and identify your unique method to stand out? But if not, we definitely have our unique coaching method masterclass, which is totally free. You can watch it anytime. You just got to opt in below and you will get that, as well as an option to get our signature standout masterclass for only 27 bucks. Super cheap, really in depth. It's like this on steroids. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video.